now. Back, forward. Referee Brendan Short from Kildare out in the centre of the field, having a word with the captain. And very shortly now the game will be underway. Edenderry Town playing as selected. In goal, Tony Hurley. Danny Doyle. The injury problems at the moment. The rest of now, the linesman going over everything now. Sheeran Cup final at sun-drenched Tullamore Park. Edenderry Town defending the town goal, the Tullamore Town goal, on our left in the first half. This is the first time in the history of the William Sheeran Cup that the final has been played outside of Dublin City, played here in Tullamore Park today. Indeed, the first time that two Offaly teams. There's the whistle, the referee watch, all set. Final hit Tullamore. Highfield to kick off in this first half. And the game is on. The game is Carroll for Highfield, down to the centre, headed away to Highfield, just inside the Edenderry half of the field. John Kenny throws it long. Goes off the boot of Jim Jessup. In fact, it went off the Highfield man on the throw over on the far side. Jim Jessup to throw it for Edenderry Town. He throws it. Kenny gets his head to it. Pulled on by Kieran Doyle, right through the centre, up towards Jack Doyle. Jack has it out in the middle of the park now. In towards Seamus Hines. Hines over towards the far side, towards Paul McGuinness. Cleared away by John Cahill out over the sideline, over the far side. A throw ball to Edenderry Town. Jim Jessup with a throw up towards Brian Nolan. Brian is beaten, but the referee penalises Brian and awards a 3 to Highfield, right from the middle of the park. Fairly stiffish breeze blowing here at the Tullamore Park, blowing, favouring Highfield United in the first half. Martin Callahan with the free kick just inside the Edenderry half. Brian Nolan gets it out towards Paul McGuinness, who heads it on over towards this side of the field. Cleared away by Patrick Cotter, going down very near the referee penalised the Highfield man of a free out for Edenderry Town. Pat MacDonald now with the free, a short one to Tony Hurley, the goalkeeper. Edenderry playing into a stiffish breeze. Hurley with a kick gets swirls way out towards the sideline, out over the line. A line ball to Highfield United just down in under the stand here on our left. Patrick Cotter with the throw. Philip Farr, but it's gone out off him, and another throw to Highfield United. Declan Ryan to throw this one. Highfield United. Just out of sight at the moment. Pat MacDonald goes up and gets ahead to it. It comes down to Brian Nolan. Brian now in possession. Still in possession, very near the sideline. Gone out over the sideline. Another throw to Highfield United, who are putting on the pressure in the early stages of this William Sheeran Cup final here at Tullamore Park. Declan Ryan with a throw into the centre. Philip Farr gets ahead to it. Danny Doyle in possession. Pop Cotter gets a boot to it, but it's out over the line. A throw to Edenderry just inside their own half of the field. Quickly thrown up towards Philip Farrell in front of us here. Cleared out by Patrick Cotter. Brian Nolan. Referee penalises number 7, John Cahill, for a foul on Brian Nolan, a free from the halfway line, quickly taken by Tommy Donoghue towards Philip Farrell. Philip Farrell up along the wing towards Danny Doyle. Danny Doyle racing into the box now. He's cut off there by Pat Cahill, and it's a throw to Edenderry Town. Danny Doyle now to throw this one. Right down and under it here. Back towards Tommy Donoghue, the captain. Tommy now in possession. Ball still in play. Philip Farrell gets ahead to it in towards Paul McGuinness. The Seamus Hines inside the area now. The ball is cleared out right here in front of us. Another throw to Edenderry Town, and this is the first attack they've staged on the Highfield United goal now. Philip Farrell in possession. Being tackled by Pat Cahill. And away comes Seamus Carroll. Cut off by Pat McDonald. That's a good ball in towards Danny Doyle. Referee penalises Danny Doyle for a foul on Martin Callahan and a free out to Highfield. Glorious sunshine here at Tullamore and a big crowd here for this William Sheeran Cup final. Sean Ryan for Highfield United sends it long. Way down into the Edenderry half. Cut off by Jim Jessup. Comes loose to Danny Doyle. Being tackled by Tommy Granger. Doyle gets it up along the wing towards Tommy Donoghue, the captain. A good ball in towards Jack Doyle. Jack Doyle going in after it. Gets the boot to it, but it goes back into Sean Ryan, the goalkeeper. And Ryan sends it long with this stiffy breeze behind him. Headed out by Pat McDonald. John Cahill now for Highfield. Over towards the far side to Seamus Hines. Throw to Edenderry over on the far side of the field. Quickly thrown into Jack Doyle, who gets ahead to it, but goes out over the sideline over on the far side, and a throw to Highfield United. Still no score in this William Sheeran Cup final here at Tullamore. Murphy with a throw. Brian Nolan out over the line, another throw over on the far side to Highfield United. Paul Murphy with a throw for United. Breaks loose to Philip Farrell, who swings it. The wind catches it and brings it back into our Edenderry half. It comes to Danny Doyle. Danny Doyle's shot is cut off by Pat Cotter. Quickly thrown into the centre by Philip Farrell. Philip now back to Tommy Donoghue, sends it into the centre towards Jack Doyle. Comes loose to Seamus Carroll. This is dangerous now. Tony Granger going, he's fouled. A chance there for Highfield United. Tony Granger breaking through was fouled by Danny Doyle, having a few words there, the referee. So a free kick to Highfield United. Martin Callahan, the taker of this one. Still no score. Callahan now for Highfield United with a free kick. Here he comes with it, sends it low. It's headed away by Kieran Doyle over towards the far side. A throw ball to Highfield United. John Kenny with a throw for Highfield, way over on the far side of the field. Sends it long in towards the goal. Declan Ryan trying to get a boot to it. Comes to Seamus Hines. Out towards Jack Doyle. Comes loose to his brother Kieran, who sends it up towards Seamus Hines. Now to Brian Nolan. Still in the Edenderry half of the field. The referee penalises Edenderry and awards a free to Highfield United just inside the Edenderry half of the park. Declan Ryan with a free, sends it high, floats it in towards the goal now. Headed on in further by Tony Granger. It's high, but it's gone over the top. And that's the first real chance we've had in this first half. Tony Granger with a header. So a goal kick to Edenderry down here on our left. Pat MacDonald with the goal kick. Gets well under it, drops it down into the centre of the park. Up goes Seamus Carroll, who gets his head to it. There's John Kenny. Dennis Guinan now. Can't get to it, and it's gone out for a throw to Edenderry just inside their own half of the field. Jim Jessup going to throw this one. Sends it down towards Seamus Hines, who can't quite get to it. Comes to John Kenny, but the flag is up again. Pat MacDonald quickly taken back to his keeper, Tony Hurley. Tony sends it low over towards Danny Doyle. Danny now being tackled by Tony Granger. He gets off the tackle in towards Jack Doyle in front of us. Jack swings it, meant over for Tommy Donoghue, but swings way over the wind, catches it. A throw to Highfield United just down in under us here. Pat Cotter with the throw. Back towards Martin Callahan, who sends it right through the centre. A handball, the referee blows his whistle, awards a free to Edenderry Town. Pat MacDonald with his free kick just inside his own half of the field. Edenderry Town, no score. Highfield United, no score in the first half of this William Sheeran Cup final here at Tullamore Park. Seamus Hines just outside the edge of the box, over towards Paul McGuinness. Out near the corner flag. Paul McGuinness now in possession. Being tackled by John Cahill, but ball comes out towards Pat MacDonald, who swings it in towards Philip Farrell. Philip now working his way through. Still Philip Farrell. In towards Tommy Donoghue now, just outside the edge of the box. Donoghue swings it in right across the goal mouth, and Philip Farrell just couldn't quite get to it. Comes through John Kenny. John Kenny, out off John Kenny on the far side of the field. The line ball to Edenderry, quickly thrown up towards Seamus Hines. And goes off the Highfield full-back Paul Murphy and throw to Edenderry Town. Brian Nolan with the throw, just quickly thrown towards Jack Doyle. Jack in possession now. Goes out off Declan Ryan, and another throw to Edenderry Town over on the far side. Brian Nolan to throw this one. Throws it long. Headed out by Martin Callahan. Pat MacDonald, or Jim Jessup fouled there by Dennis Guinan, and a free kick now to Edenderry Town just outside the Highfield United box. This game still scoreless. Philip Farrell, Paul McGuinness standing over the ball. Farrell with a shot, swings it high, way out towards the right, and a goal kick. Still no score, Edenderry Town 0, Highfield United 0. Murphy kicks out into the centre of the park. Comes to Brian Nolan. Brian now working through the centre up towards Paul McGuinness, who gets the head out towards Tommy Donoghue. Tommy Donoghue now in possession. Being tackled by Pat Cotter. Still Tommy Donoghue. Out to Jack Doyle. Jack sells a dummy and sends it into the centre, but it comes to John Cahill. Cahill clearing the line for Highfield United. Philip Farrell now. In towards Tommy Donoghue. Going very, very near the end line. It's gone out for a corner kick to Edenderry Town. Just the first corner kick of the game, and Jim Jessup, the full-back, going up into the box for this one as Tommy Donoghue prepares to kick. Donoghue with the kick, a good one. Fisted out by Sean Ryan, the goalkeeper. Drops loose to Philip Farrell. Philip tries to get a drive on it. Half connects. It's pulled out there by John Kenny out over the line on the far side of the field. Highfield United under a bit of pressure now in the quickly thrown in towards Seamus Hines. Michael Guinan boots it out. The Highfield United now under a bit of pressure here as Brian Nolan prepares to throw again. It's a longish one. Heading towards Seamus Hines, who can't get his head to it. Martin Callahan gets it. Jack Doyle gets a head to it. Seamus Hines. Oh, very near thing indeed there for Highfield United. What a let off. Edenderry putting the pressure on there and just not getting the just reward. Tommy Donoghue gets ahead to this one towards Paul McGuinness. Coming very, very near the sideline. Pat Cotter puts it out for a throw to Edenderry Town. Paul McGuinness quickly thrown to Philip Farr. Philip sends it in, heading towards Seamus Hines. Can't quite get to it. Chasing it is Jack Doyle. Martin Callahan. Doyle beats him to it. Back to Brian Nolan. Nolan is fouled and the referee awards a free to Edenderry Town just outside the Highfield box. Still no score in this William Sheeran Cup final here at Tullamore Park. Philip Farr with the free. Edenderry and desperately unlucky not to be one up after that there, but that's a dropping ball into it. Seamus Hines who gets ahead to it. Patrick Cotter clears it, where Brian Nolan is waiting out in the centre. Comes to Jim Jessup, who's way up. Hines gets ahead to it. Into Jack Doyle. But nobody there for it, only Sean Ryan, the Highfield United goalkeeper. But Edenderry now putting all the pressure on this Highfield United team, and they're bound to crack at some stage. Ryan kicks it out. Way down. Pat MacDonald gets ahead to it. Just in under the stand here. Off John Cahill. Throw ball to Edenderry Town. Tommy Donoghue, the Edenderry captain, to throw this one. Sends it low to Paul McGuinness. Back to Danny Doyle, who sweeps it into the centre to Seamus Hines, but Jack Doyle pulls that one off. And here comes Highfield United. That one's going to beat him to the touchline. It's gone out over a throw ball to Edenderry Town. Paul McGuinness going high for this one. Martin Callahan sweeps it back to Sean Ryan to relieve the pressure. Ryan sending it over towards the right side of the park this time, towards Dennis Guy and Jim Jessup. Comes out to Kieran Doyle. This is dangerous now. Seamus Carroll. Gone out. Goal kick to Edenderry Town. Tony Hurley placing the ball for the kick out by Pat MacDonald. Still no score in this Sheeran Cup final here at Tullamore. Highfield United 0, Edenderry Town 0 as Pat MacDonald kicks out. Over towards the left to Brian Nolan, who sends it high over towards Tommy Donoghue, the captain. Being chased by Pat Cotter out on the near side. That ball meant for him. It comes to Tony Granger. Tony Granger, the captain of the Highfield team. A good tackle there by Philip Farlow, sweeps it out from under him. Pat Cotter gone out over the line, a line ball to Edenderry Town just here in front of the stand. Danny Doyle with the throw. Throws it towards Tommy Donoghue, plays it well. Back up towards Jack Doyle. Paul McGuinness in possession, being tackled by Michael Guinan, and still Paul McGuinness. Sends it across towards Brian Nolan, who's having a good game in the middle of the park, but he's beaten that time by Declan Ryan, Kieran Doyle, John Kenny for Highfield. Down towards Dennis Guinan, being tackled by Jim Jessup out on the far side. Jessup relieves the pressure, a throw to Highfield United, well inside the Edenderry half of the park. John Kenny with a throw. He throws it long. Headed away by Philip Farr. Down towards Tommy Donoghue, up towards Red Hines. Seamus Hines very near the touchline over on the far side of the field. The flag is up. Michael Guinan with a throw over on the far side of the field. Cut off by Brian Nolan. Still Brian Nolan. Still Brian Nolan working his way into the edge of the box. He gets the ball into the centre. Michael Guinan clears it away. Dropping down to Philip Farrell. Philip gets ahead to it. At Cotter now for Highfield. Over towards Tony Granger. The ball relieves the pressure back to Tony Hurley. Hurley sends the ball out towards the middle of the park up towards Philip Farrell. Dennis Guinan now. Back towards Declan Ryan. Comes to Pat MacDonald, out towards Tommy Donoghue. Donoghue into the centre to Philip Farrell. Philip now to Jack Doyle. Edenderry moving well up the wing here now. Tommy Donoghue, the captain, working his way into the box now. Still Tommy Donoghue. Into the centre. Cleared away by Pat Potter. Comes back to Tommy Donoghue in under his hair. Tommy sweeps it well into the centre. The referee getting into a tangle there in the middle of the park. Brian Nolan, a shot from way out the field. Goes out to the right and a goal kick. Still no score. Highfield United nil, Edenderry Town nil, as Martin Callahan prepares to kick out for Highfield. Remember, Highfield playing with this very stiffish breeze in the first half. Callahan again gets a boot from Paul McGuinness to Philip Farrell. Philip a nice dummy there down and under it. Still Philip Farrell. Hidden out towards Danny Doyle. Into Paul McGuinness. Who's offside, and the referee very quickly to spot him there. So a free out to Highfield United inside their own square, and Sean Ryan will take it. Martin Callahan with the kick for Highfield. Sends it down long. Pat Cotter gets ahead to it. Kieran Doyle swings it high in the air towards Philip Farrell. Philip gets it into the centre. Brian Nolan gets ahead to it towards Seamus Carroll. Paul McGuinness. McGuinness to Jim Jessup. Out towards Philip Farrell. Edenderry working their way up now. Tony Hurley with the kick out into the centre towards Jack Doyle, who's been having a quiet sort of a game at the moment. Philip Farrell. Shot blocked down there by Seamus Carroll. Feeds the ball over towards Dennis Guinan. This could be dangerous. Guinan sends it in high. That's... Ooh. Declan Ryan very nearly putting it away there. And Tony Hurley was definitely beaten there. The ball just going inches by the post. So that's a let off for Edenderry as Pat MacDonald prepares to kick out. Into the centre. Seamus Carroll gets ahead to it, over towards Seamus Hines and Dennis Guinan. Guinan gets a boot to it. Comes to Jim Jessup. Jessup into the centre to Brian Nolan, where Brian and Jack Doyle go to it. Tommy Donoghue screaming for the ball over on the near side here. Out of Tommy's boot, and a throw to Highfield United here down in front of us. Pat Cotter with the throw. Throws it towards Tony Granger. Philip Farrell. Back to Danny Doyle. Danny Doyle gets ahead to it, but it goes out here for another throw down here under it. Cotter with a throw towards Declan Ryan. Declan and Pat MacDonald. Declan still has the ball. That's the Edenderry Town ball over on the far side. Jim Jessup will throw it. Jessup with a throw for Jack Doyle. Jack, a good ball in towards Tommy Donoghue. This could be dangerous. Donoghue in possession. Sends it back in. Meant for Jack Doyle, but it's in quite free. Comes to Tony Granger here for Highfield. Gets inside Danny Doyle, but he can't beat Tommy Donoghue. Donoghue back up towards Danny Doyle. Comes to John Cahill, who sends it in long, in towards the goal. Into the hands of Tony Hurley, the Edenderry goalkeeper. Dropping under is Brian Nolan and Jack Doyle. Referee penalised the Highfield man at 3-2. Philip Farr standing over it. Still no score in this William Sheeran Cup final here at Tullamore. Paul McGuinness in possession. Out towards Danny Doyle, who sweeps it into the centre. Hung back to Philip Farr. Still Philip Farr. Looking for Seamus Hines. He gets him. This is Brian Nolan. Brian inside the box. Right across the face of the goal. But it's got a touch off a Highfield United player, and it's a corner kick down here on the right. Paul McGuinness to take this one. Still no score. McGuinness sends it low towards Philip Farrell. Philip now, a chance here for Tommy Donoghue. Tommy Donoghue with a blaster there just over the top of the bar. Tommy is having a fine game for Edenderry Town. Having a shot there, but just went over the top. So still 0-0 here. As Martin Callahan kicks out for Highfield United. Into the centre, Philip Farrell gets ahead to it. Comes to Brian Nolan, who knocks it out towards Tommy Donoghue, in towards Paul McGuinness. McGuinness now. Works his way in. Well played by Paul. But Pat Cotter eventually clears it away. Sean Ryan for Highfield. Back out into the centre. Pat MacDonald gets ahead to it, comes to Danny Doyle. Danny now right to the centre. Jack Doyle rises for it. Pulled on by Philip Farrell. Paul Murphy gets ahead to it for Highfield. Edenderry ball over on the far side of the field. Brian Nolan with the throw. In towards Jack Doyle. Jack gets ahead to it, but out comes the Highfield keeper Sean Ryan and habs it safely. Ryan kicks it down towards the centre. Jim Jessup goes high. To Seamus Hines. Michael Guinan back down. Jim Jessup penalised a 3-2. Highfield United inside the Edenderry half of the field. John Kenny to take this one. Kenny sends it in. Tony Hurley comes out and he's upended there. So the referee having a word with Declan Ryan. Tony Hurley up on his feet all right, taking the ball for the kick out by the free kick by Pat MacDonald. MacDonald with the free. Swings way over towards the left. Jack Doyle goes up for it, doesn't quite get to it. Martin Callahan. Jack Doyle gets ahead to it this time. For Brian Nolan. Seamus Carroll now for Highfield, in towards Tony Granger. And eventually Tony Hurley, the Edenderry Town keeper, comes out with the ball, and still no score now in this Sheeran Cup final here today at Tullamore. Big crowd here, but as I say, Highfield United playing with a very stiffish breeze in this first half. Both teams unlucky not to score, but as it stands, still no score in this cup final. Danny Doyle with the throw down here under us. Up towards Paul McGuinness, doesn't quite get to it. Number to Seamus Carroll, Declan Ryan foul, and the referee awards a free to Highfield United. John Cahill with the free for Highfield. Swings it way over towards the right. Jim Jessup trying to get everything in comes to John Kenny. Kenny with a shot. Into Declan Ryan, it was offside. Flag was up. Flag was up for offside. Declan Ryan back with the ball, where Danny Doyle clears it out towards Philip Farrell. Breaks loose to John Kenny. He's beaten by Pat McDonald. Stalemate out in the middle of the park. Tommy Donoghue now going for with Tommy Granger. Danny Doyle gets a boot to it up towards Paul McGuinness. Paul McGuinness now. Still Paul McGuinness, but he's penalised. Penalised for fouling Pat Cotter, and a free to Highfield United, just peering under it. Martin Callahan with the free, down towards Declan Ryan and Pat McDonald. Ryan wins it, but the ball goes into Tony Hurley, who once again swings it way out towards the far side of the park, towards Seamus Hines, who gets ahead to the Jack Doyle. This could be a chance. Jack racing up the far side. Still Jack Doyle. Across now towards Tommy Donoghue and Paul McGuinness. A chance here. McGuinness in front of the goal. Oh. A bit of commotion going on down here. It is a penalty to Edenderry Town. A penalty to Edenderry Town for a handball in the square. So this is a chance for Edenderry now to hit the front, as it were, as Paul McGuinness stands back to shoot. Sean Ryan in the Highfield goal. Paul McGuinness now standing back, hands and hips. You can almost hear a pin drop here at Tullamore. Goal! Goal for Edenderry Town. Paul McGuinness crashing it to the left corner of the net. Edenderry Town 1, Highfield United 0. That's what the game needed, a goal. Paul McGuinness sending into the ball into the net from the penalty spot. Pat Cotter to kick off to Declan Ryan. Edenderry Town 1, Highfield United 0. Philip Farr. Offside against a Highfield player, so 3 out to Edenderry Town. Pat McDonald with a free kick just inside the Edenderry half of the field. Gets under it well towards Jack Doyle. Jack gets a boot to him. Pat Cotter. Philip Farrell into Tommy Donoghue. Tommy now just outside the edge of the box. Sweeps it into the centre. Corner kick. Corner kick to Edenderry Town. Ball went off Pat Cotter. Corner kick down on our right here for Edenderry Town. Tommy Donoghue and Philip Farrell standing under it. In towards Seamus Hines, who gets ahead to it. Cleared away by Dennis Guinan out over the line on the far side. Throw ball to Edenderry Town. Just a throw to Edenderry Town over on the far side, who lead Highfield United on the scoreline 1-0 in the first half of the Sheeran Cup final. The goal coming from Paul McGuinness from a penalty. Paul gets ahead there just as I talk, but it goes into the hands of Sean Ryan, the Highfield United keeper. Hurley, the Edenderry keeper. Tony Hurley out towards Brian Nolan, who's beaten by John Kenny. Ball comes to Dennis Guinan, being chased by Jim Jessup over on the far side of the field. Still Kieran Doyle up through the centre towards Jack Doyle. And Paul McGuinness. Jack gets it. A good ball up towards Tommy Donoghue. Tommy into the centre towards Seamus Hines. Offside against Edenderry Town there. Possibly Paul McGuinness. Free out to Highfield. Martin Callahan back to the keeper, Sean Ryan. Ryan sends it long, down towards Declan Ryan. This is Dennis Guinan. Highfield appealing for a penalty, but referee having none of it. The ball cleared out towards Seamus Hines and John Kenny. Hines gets the head to the ball. Flag up for offside, a free to Edenderry Town. Edenderry leading 1-0. Pat McDonald with the free kick. Sends it right over towards this side of the field, towards Danny Doyle. Danny gets it on, but Tommy Donoghue offside, a free out to Highfield. Good move by Danny Doyle, but Tommy Donoghue moved that little bit quick. Martin Callahan standing over the ball, kicks it back to Sean Ryan. Ryan sends it long down towards Declan Ryan. Comes to Tommy Donoghue Town. Tommy out over the sideline, line ball to Highfield. Pat Cotter with a throw. Pat Cotter for Highfield, just down in under it. Sends it up towards Declan Ryan. To John Cahill and Philip Farrell. And Michael Guinan eventually clears it away down towards Kieran Doyle, who clears it out towards Jim Jessup. Throw to Edenderry. Jessup quickly thrown up towards Philip Farrell. Farrell now gets under it well over towards Tommy Donoghue. Tommy gets the boot to it, but it's gone out. Throw ball to Highfield United. Pat Cotter with a throw. Tony Granger gets ahead to it. Missed in the air by Philip Farrell. Tommy Donoghue now, the captain. Up towards Jack Doyle in the centre of the park. Jack gets ahead to it. Comes loose to Michael Guinan. Stalemate out in the centre. Philip Farrell gets a boot to it. Over towards Brian Nolan. Into Paul McGuinness, but it's cleared away by Paul Murphy. Into the centre. Seamus Carroll cleared away by Danny Doyle. This is a good move now. Oh. Danny Doyle over towards Jack Doyle. John Cahill eventually gets it long down towards Dennis Ryan. But Kieran Doyle feeds it back to Tony Hurley to relieve the pressure. Tony drops it down high into the centre. Up they go for it. Jack Doyle gets ahead to it. Screw ball by Paul McGuinness. Martin Callahan leaves it to the keeper. Still 1-0 in favour of Edenderry. Dennis Guinan. Jim Jessup. Flag is up. Jim Jessup to take the throw, just inside his own half of the field. One goal to nil in favour of Edenderry Town in this William Sheeran Cup final here at Tullamore Park. Brian Nolan in possession, sends it long to the centre. Comes loose to Seamus Hines, and here comes Seamus now. He's into the box, a chance for number 2. He shoots. Oh, but it's on the other side of the net. A chance for Seamus Hines to put that one away, but he hit the side netting, and the score remains Edenderry Town 1, Highfield 0. Kick out. Seamus Carroll being tackled by Jack Doyle and by Philip Farrell. Sean Ryan for Highfield, sending it well down the field. Pat MacDonald heads it way out towards the far side. Throw ball to Highfield over on the far side of the field. Paul Murphy to throw this one, right on the halfway line. Comes loose to Philip Farrell. Philip into the centre towards Paul McGuinness. Offside against Tony Granger of Highfield United. A free kick from out around the middle to Edenderry Town. Pat MacDonald to take this one. One goal to nil. Up comes Pat with a free. Sends it low towards Danny Doyle. Danny Doyle and Tony Granger. Doyle back to Pat MacDonald. MacDonald now in possession. Looking for Tommy Donoghue. He doesn't quite get to him. Comes to Tony Granger. He has Declan Ryan down along the left wing. Declan cut off by Kieran Doyle. A line ball. A throw to Highfield United just down in front of the stands here on our left. Pat Cotto the throw. Looking for Declan Ryan. Comes to Pat MacDonald, who kicks it out over the line. Another throw to Highfield United. The throw in towards the goal. Declan Ryan goes up for it. Tony Granger and Brian Nolan. Comes loose to Danny Doyle, who relieves the pressure. To Jack Doyle, back into the centre, to Brian Nolan. Brian out to Jack Doyle. This is a chance for Edenderry Town. Doyle being chased by Tony Granger. Still Jack Doyle. And away comes Granger, but the ball comes loose to Danny Doyle. Sweeps it into the centre. To Jim Jessup. Jim trying to work his way into the box. He's cut off by Paul Murphy, the full-back for Highfield, and Murphy relieves the pressure. Down to John Kenny. Kenny going through the centre. He's cut off by Philip Farrell. Still Philip Farrell. Over towards Seamus Hines. But Paul Murphy relieves the pressure, clears it out over the sideline. Line ball to Edenderry Town is putting on the pressure now. Brian Nolan to take this throw over on the far side of the field. Edenderry leading 1-0. That goal coming from a Paul McGuinness penalty. Brian Nolan now into the centre towards Jack Doyle. It's there. It's on the line. It's taken off the line by Paul Murphy, the full back. Tommy Donoghue. What a let off for Highfield United. No flag is up. Paul McGuinness right in front of the goal. A chance here. Seamus Hines was inside him. It's a corner kick. But Edenderry Town should be throw off anyway. Corner kick. Tommy Donoghue going out. A very dejected looking Tommy Donoghue. He should have put that one away, but it was taken off the goal line by Paul Murphy, the full-back for Highfield. Tommy Donoghue with the corner kick down here on our right. Swings it in well towards the head of Pat MacDonald, but Sean Ryan has it safely in command there, with a fine effort by Pat MacDonald on the left. Ryan with the kick out. Sheeran Doyle comes loose to Danny Doyle, who's playing well there on the wing. Up to Tommy Donoghue. Back to Danny Doyle. Danny cutting through to Paul McGuinness. Edenderry Town getting in top here now and playing some fine football. Seamus Hines sweeps it over towards Danny Doyle. Can he get to it? Very near the sideline. Danny has it. Still Danny Doyle working his way into the box. Puts it across towards Seamus Hines. Seamus gets ahead to it, but there's no one in support. But very fine football indeed, appreciated by the crowd here at Tullamore Park. Edenderry determined to get this second goal as Tony Hurley prepares to kick out. Dropping it down now towards Philip Farr. Philip on his own. To Jack Doyle. Back towards Philip Farr. Philip sends it a bit too far. Right into the hands of Sean Ryan, the goalkeeper. Ryan back down the far side of the field towards Jim Jessup, who comes to Brian Nolan, very near the sideline. The flag is up, a Highfield ball over on the far side of the field. Dennis Guinan to throw this one for Highfield. Edenderry still that one goal in front. Very near the half-time whistle now. Tommy Donoghue now, into the centre to Philip Farr. Edenderry have a few players forward here, a chance. Tommy Donoghue shouting for it over on the far side here. Comes to Paul McGuinness, into Tommy Donoghue. Tommy inside the box to McGuinness. McGuinness a shot, a good save. Good save with the keeper there. But a fine effort by Paul McGuinness. There goes the whistle. But the Sheeran Cup final is on, and Edenderry Town leading. Pat Cotter with a throw for Highfield. Flag up over on the far side, a throw ball to Highfield United. Quickly taken, it's in a goal. John Kenny. John Kenny heading that one into the back of the net. Tony Hurley had no hope. So on the restart, Highfield United have got one back and the sides are level. And when you think of all the goals that he had missed in the first half, they might want them before this game is over. Tony Granger, Jim Jessup, Tony Granger, into Declan Ryan, who's offside, and the referee blows up. Declan Ryan offside to Edenderry Town. And that goal definitely has come as a shock here to Edenderry Town. Tony Hurley complete with caps for the start of the second half. Sends it down. John Kenny tries to get to it. Seamus Hines does. Comes to Martin Callahan. Into the centre. Pat McDonald to Town. It's inside the Highfield Parklow field. Philip Farr to take it. Philip takes it quickly towards Paul McGuinness. Still Philip Farr. Dennis. Hit towards Paul McGuinness. Ball is onside. Chance, but it's gone out for a goal kick. Still one. John Kenny. Just after the restart of the second half. Fouled over there on the far side of the field and a free kick to Edenderry Town. To take it. But the referee points for the corner flag, a corner kick to Edenderry Town. The ball must have touched a Highfield defender on the way across the line. Tommy Donoghue up the free, low. Headed out by Tony Granger. Back out towards Danny Doyle. Still Danny Doyle. Back to Tommy Donoghue. Tommy floats it in. Up goes Seamus Hines. And Philip Farr, but the ball eventually going out for a goal kick. Callahan with the kick out for Highfield United. Into the centre, of course, John Kenny, but he's beaten by Danny Doyle. Ball comes back to Danny Doyle, who's beaten by John Cahill, and away comes Highfield United. Referee putting the name of John Cahill in the book as a freeze quickly taken by Philip Farrell out to Tommy Donoghue. Still Tommy Donoghue now. Throw ball to Edenderry Town. Quickly thrown by Tommy back towards Philip Farrell. Philip now. He has Danny Doyle running through in the centre. Sends it into Danny. Danny is shot way over towards Jack Doyle. Gone very near the sideline. He can't get to it. Gone over. Throw ball Field United. Dennis Guinan gets a boot to it into centre towards Paul McGuinness. Still Paul McGuinness. Just outside the Highfield box. Still Paul trying to get it into the centre. Gets into Brian Nolan. Brian pushing it to the centre. But it's cleared away by Seamus Carroll out over the sideline. Throw ball to Edenderry just down here on the left. Quickly thrown to Seamus Hine. Goes off the boot of Paul Murphy, the Highfield full-back. Corner kick to Edenderry Town, down here on our left. Right into the centre. Stalemate in the square, but it's coming out. Kieran Doyle. Brian Nolan, and away comes Highfield. A chance for Dennis Ryan. Cut off there by Kieran Doyle, and the pressure relieved back to Tony Hurley. Side still level. Highfield United 1, Edenderry Town 1. At the dangerous looking ball, Paul McGuinness gets ahead. Goal! Paul McGuinness, the ball that looked like going over the crossbar, has dipped to the back of the Highfield, and that's an Edenderry in front. And Sean Ryan, the Highfield United goalkeeper, can just stand and look at amazement. Seamus Carroll, tackled by Jack Doyle. Up here towards Dennis Guinan and Jim Jessup. Jim Jessup now for Edenderry, very near the side. Highfield ball. John Kenny to throw this. Now what a game Paul McGuinness is having. A longish throw by Guinan, headed away by Pat MacDonald, booted out by Kieran Doyle for a corner kick to relieve the pressure. Tony Granger with the corner kick. Down on our right, he swings it in well. Headed away by Tommy Donoghue to Brian Nolan. Brian and Tony Granger will throw them together down here in front of it. Comes to Brian Nolan, who flicks it back to the keeper, dangerously pulled away by Tony Hurley. Comes to Paul Murphy. Paul Murphy and Philip Farr. Breaks loose to Jack Doyle, or Seamus Hines, into the centre. To Paul McGuinness, the Philip Farr, working his way through the centre now. Finds Tommy Donoghue unmarked over on the far side. Danny Doyle. Back to Philip Farr. This one going way over towards the far side. Tony Granger going after he can't get to it. Line ball to Edenderry. Pat MacDonald throws towards Philip Farr. Philip down towards Jack Doyle. Cleared away into the centre of the park. Into it towards Seamus Hines, who's not going to get to it over the line. towards the ball going out off John Kenny, a line ball to Edenderry Town. Brian Nolan to throw down towards Seamus Hines. Still Brian Nolan. John Kenny into the centre. Jack Doyle coming out but back to Brian Nolan. Looking for Tommy Donoghue way over on the far side. He sends it out towards Tommy. Still Tommy Donoghue. He cuts inside his man. Still Tommy now. Into Jack Doyle, who's robbed. And the ball cleared away down towards Pat McDonald. Pat playing well for Edenderry. Back towards Philip Farr. Handball there, but the referee allowed the game to go on. A line ball to Highfield. John Kenny with a throw. Down towards Declan Fine. Declan sends it on in towards the goal. Out comes Tony Hurley, the Edenderry Town keeper, and collects it well. And then with the breeze behind him, sends it long down towards Jack Doyle. Runs right through. Out comes Sean Fine. Ryan out into the centre. Comes to Dennis Guinan. Ball breaks loose to Brian. Seamus Hines into the centre, meant for Jack Doyle. Doesn't quite make him. Tommy Donoghue, Paul McGuinness. It's dropping down towards Dennis Scott. Jim Jessup was having a fine game there. So too is this man, Brian Nolan. Left down the wing towards Seamus Hines. Hines up to the centre, comes to Seamus Carroll. Carroll is beaten. And away comes Tommy Donoghue. Dangerous looking ball, but Sean Ryan grabs it and clears it back out. Up goes Declan Ryan and Pat McDonald. Breaks loose. Comes to Dennis Guinan. Guinan now for Highfield United foul by Jim Jessup, and the referee awards a free to Highfield. Paul Murphy, the Highfield full-back, to take this free just inside the Edenderry half of the park. Up comes Paul, he drives it in well. Jim Jessup gets ahead to it and clears it out to Seamus Hines. Hines now down and under his ear. And away comes Seamus, swinging it way in. This one's going to go all the way in towards Sean Ryan. Back out it comes. Ryan with a kick out into the centre of the park. Goes Danny Doyle. The ball breaks loose to Dennis Ryan. Jack Doyle. Loose out towards Philip Farr. To Tommy. Edenderry captain. Donoghue back to Farr. Farr working his way into the centre. To Danny Doyle. A chance of a shot. Sends it low. Just past. Inches past the post, and a goal kick to Highfield. Martin Callahan with the kick out. Edenderry Town leading Highfield United in this William Sheeran Cup final here at Tullamore. 2 goals to 1. Seamus Carroll up towards Dennis Ryan. Jim Jessup holding it out over the line. Brian Nolan with a throw down in under it. Brian Nolan. Hines. Paul Murphy, the full-back, sweeps it to the centre, where Philip Farrell is waiting. Good ball by Paul McGuinness. Into Tommy Donoghue. Back into the centre. Jack Doyle. Seamus Hines. Goal! goal for Edenderry Town. Fine, gradually to the net. A good move there by Edenderry Town. And that surely must wrap up this William Sheeran Cup. Highfield United about to kick off now in the centre of the park. I think they're making a substitute. John Kenny is going off the field. So a substitute in the game for Highfield. Quick breakaway. Lawrence McGarry as the substitute is in, and he's offside as he comes under that one. 3 out to Edenderry Town. Jim Jessup to take the free back in towards his keeper Tony Hurley. Tony, complete with sun cap, sends it long. Way down, deep into the Highfield half of the field, Jack Doyle gets under it. Goes up towards Declan Ryan, who's pushed in the back by Pat McDonald, and the referee awards the free to Highfield. Martin Callahan quickly into the centre towards Seamus Carroll. Goes off the boot of Jim Jessup. And away comes Kieran Doyle to relieve the pressure. Back towards Jessup in the centre. And away comes Jim Jessup now. Tommy Donohoe shouting for the ball over the far side. Paul McGuinness looking for a hat-trick. Straight into the keeper's hands. Good effort over from Paul. Martin Callahan fouled by Philip Farr, and the referee awards a free. Martin Callahan to take this free just inside his own half. Edenderry Town leading 3-1. Callahan into the centre. Jim Jessup gets ahead, but Brian Nolan steers the way out towards Paul McGuinness to Jack Doyle. Jack gets it. Pat Potter. Whistle goes offside. Offside against 2 of the players there. 3 out to Edenderry Town. Quickly taken by Pat McDonald. Down to an unmarked Danny Doyle. Danny gets it into the centre. Seamus Carroll. Still Philip Farr though. Still Philip Farr working his way across the centre now. Comes to Dennis Guinan. And Dennis Guinan now. Right through the centre for Declan Ryan. But the ball runs right through to Tony Hurley with good defensive play there by Pat McDonald. Tony Hurley long deep into the Highfield half. Seamus Carroll and Declan Guinan. Comes to Seamus Carroll up towards the substitute. It's going very near the sideline. Gone out. 9 ball to Edenderry Town. That's Lawrence McGarry, number 13. He came in as a sub for John Kenny, who went off. Back with the play. Referee penalised Michael Guinan for a foul on Jack Doyle and a free. Quickly taken. Brian Nolan has a shot and a brilliant save by the keeper. A fine shot there by Brian Nolan, but a brilliant save by Sean Ryan in there on the Highfield goal. So a corner to Edenderry Town down on our left. Right across the goal. It's gone in all the way. It's gone in all the way into the net. But it was helped in by Patrick Potter, the Highfield man. So Edenderry must surely now have this Sheeran Cup in their keeping. 4 goals to 1. And Edenderry Town shouting for more goals. Declan Ryan kicks off. And away comes Tommy Donoghue, the captain, down to Paul McGuinness. McGuinness back to Danny Doyle. Back into the centre to Philip Farr. Farr towards Seamus Hines and Paul Murphy. Murphy gets ahead to it. 2-1 down there.
Well, the holder of a green ticket number 69, please come to barrel, please. A green ticket 69. Come to the barrel, please. Thank you.
Declan Guinan, tackled by Seamus Hines. Ball breaks into the centre. Kieran Doyle all alone down and under it. About to be tackled by Lawrence McGarry. But away comes Kieran. Cool as you like into the centre to Brian Nolan. Brian beaten there. This is a dangerous looking ball. Danny Doyle and Tony Granger going for the other sideline. Kept in play by Tony Hurley, the keeper. And Tony clears it down in the centre of the park.
Thank you, sir.
Tommy Donoghue now, back towards Danny Doyle, who half kicks it out towards Paul McGuinness. Back to Tommy Donoghue. Down to Jack Doyle, who's having a remarkably quiet game there today. Back into the centre, Seamus Carroll. Whistle is gone and it's a free to Highfield. In fact, it's a throw over on the far side of the field. Pat Cotter to throw it. Martin Callahan, the number 4 for Highfield United, in a bit of trouble over there on the far side of the field. But at the moment, this Sheeran Cup, it looks on its way to Edenderry Town as they lead 4-1. As Pat Cotter throws that one, it goes off Declan Ryan, and it's a throw to Edenderry Town, just under the dugout over on the far side of the field. Pat McDonald throws it. Breaks loose to Paul McGuinness, but the referee penalises Jack Doyle for holding, and it's a free out to Highfield. Martin Callahan with the free. A very stiffish breeze catches that ball. Comes to Lawrence McGarry, the substitute, and it's cleared away by Kieran Doyle. Now to Seamus Hines, very, very near the sideline. Seamus keeps it in play. Up goes Jim Jessup, who gets ahead to it. The ball breaks loose to Brian Nolan, and away comes Brian. McGarry now, right through to Declan Ryan. But he's cut off by Kieran Doyle, who plays it back to Tony Hurley. Very good defensive work there by Kieran Doyle. Tony Hurley sends it long again, down towards Seamus Hines. This breaks in for Jack Doyle. A chance for Jack, but the flag was up for offside. Tommy Donoghue out there looking for number 5, and they lead 4-1. Sean Ryan for Highfield. Screws off his boot. Drops down towards Declan Guinan and Philip Farr. Philip wins it in the air. Breaks loose to Seamus Hines, who tries to flick it over his head. Throw ball to Highfield. Paul Murphy to throw it for Highfield United. Throws it down towards Declan Ryan. Comes to Jim Jessup, brings it out over the line with him, just in under it here. Another throw to Highfield. Paul Murphy to throw, full back for Highfield. And again towards Declan Ryan. Brian Nolan foul, the referee awards a free out. Pat McDonald to take the free, just outside the box. Pat drives it long. Down towards Seamus Hines. Offside against one of the Highfield players there, so free out Edenderry Town just inside their own half of the park. Pat McDonald to take this one. Six it back to Tony Hurley, the goalkeeper. And Tony sends it long over towards Paul McGuinness, and it's going to reach Paul. But there too is Patrick Cotter, who clears it out over for a throw over on the far side of the field. Tommy Donoghue with the throw, low to Philip Farrell, Farrell back to Tommy. Tommy sending it right in, and it's gone over the bar, a good kick. So, out of the game now, when some of the crowd already beginning to pull away, and I'm sure they're the Highfield crowd. As Edenderry lead 4-1 in this William Sheeran Cup final of 1985. Philip Farrell now, through the centre. Shot from way out, goes out to the left for another goal kick for Highfield. Taking the ball for the kick out again for Highfield United. Up he comes with the kick, the wind catches it. Of course, Declan Guinan, Paul Murphy, Paul McGuinness looking for the hat. Comes to Seamus Hines, and just inches to the left of the post. A fine effort. That would really have wrapped it up. Martin Callahan with the kick out, sends it low. Up goes Philip Farrell, is penalised for climbing up on the back of Declan Guinan. Free to Highfield United in the centre of the park. Martin Kerrigan to take. Martin Callahan over towards Tony Granger. Granger gets ahead to it, but he's penalised. Danny Doyle fouling. So a free to Highfield United just outside Edenderry box. So three Highfield players standing over the ball. A direct shot at goal here. Edenderry leading 4-1. And it's Martin Callahan who's standing over the ball with Tony Granger. Callahan about to strike, strikes it in towards Declan Ryan, who gets ahead to it, but it's cleared away. Comes back to Paul Murphy into Seamus Hines, and Hines relieves the pressure. Brian Nolan scoops it down to Paul McGuinness. Paul racing onto this one. He's Tommy Donoghue in between them. Pat Cotter out over the line. Goes off an Edenderry player and throw to Highfield United. Brian Nolan. Straight into the hands of Sean Ryan at the Highfield goal. The park towards Declan Ryan. Pat McDonald out towards Red Hot to get ahead to it. Down towards Jack Doyle, trying to beat it to the sideline. He does so, gets it back to Red Hines. Comes loose to Tommy Donoghue. Donoghue a shot that's got in over the bar, another goal kick. Kick out by Martin Callahan. Headed in by Philip Farrell. Seamus Carroll. Tackled by Seamus Hines. Ball breaks loose to Tommy Donoghue. Tommy Donoghue has Danny Doyle one side of him and Paul McGuinness the other. But the ball is cleared away by Pat Cotter all over the line on the far side of the field. McGuinness now. Comes out loose to Tommy Donoghue. Tommy now switching wings over to this side, going very into the sideline. It's gone out over a throw ball to Highfield. Comes to Lawrence McGarry, being tackled by Jim Jessup. Ball very into the sideline. Dennis Guinan back to McGarry, and McGarry now for Highfield, working his way into the centre, tries to get it into Declan Ryan. Well played by Pat McDonald, who feeds it back to Tony Hurley. A lot of the fire now of the game now. This score line of Edenderry 4 goals, Highfield United 1. Paul McGuinness, chance for a hat-trick. It's there! What a goal! What a goal! Paul McGuinness, surely from 30 yards, blasting it to the corner of the net. And that surely wraps up this game as a contest.
Well, our George, report to the bar, please. George, please.
But the ref, it's been disallowed. Yes, the referee, it's been disallowed for offside, I think, so pity about that, because Paul on a hat-trick. So the score still remains 4 goals for Edenderry Town, 1 for Highfield United. That goal disallowed for offside. And hard luck indeed for Paul. Free kick to Highfield United. Dennis Ryan gets a kick to it. McGarry, saved by Tony Hurley in the goal. Tony Hurley kicks out, dropping down to Martin Callahan. Headed away by Michael Guinan, far as Seamus Hines. Hines going out after it with Paul Murphy. Seamus Carroll, Jack Doyle, down to Tommy Dunner, who's going to have a shot way out to the left. Another goal kick. Score remains 4-1 in favour of Edenderry Town. The final of this William Sheeran Cup final. I see a substitute warming up over on the far side of the field. Possibly Jimmy Kelly coming in for Edenderry. Sean Ryan kicks out, dropping down into the centre. Declan Ryan headed in there by Dennis Guinan. Comes to Seamus Hines, being tackled by Paul Murphy, and Seamus Hines turns him well. Hines now, but Murphy gets a boot to it. Goal kick, so with a little under 13 minutes left in the game, Edenderry Town look home and dry, as it were, for this Sheeran Cup. Danny Doyle across towards his brother Jack, comes to Paul Murphy. He's beaten by Seamus Hines. He has Philip Farrell just in behind him. Ball met back for Philip, comes back to Paul Murphy, and he clears the ball for Highfield. Down to Dennis Guinan. The ball is flicked in very well by Kieran Doyle to Tony Hurley, who clears it long. Out towards Tommy Donoghue, down the right wing. Tommy being tackled by John Cahill, gets the ball in the centre towards Paul McGuinness. Paul is beaten this time. Tony Granger into Declan Ryan, going to go very near the sideline. Lawrence McGarry trying to keep it in play. He does, but the flag is up. Dennis Guinan offside, free out for Edenderry Town. A round of applause. Jack, who's played his heart out so many times for Edenderry Town, he didn't do too badly today. Jimmy Kelly comes on. Jimmy. Jim Jessup will free back to Tony Hurley. And Tony prepared to kick long, deep into the Highfield United half of the field. Jimmy Kelly gets ahead to it. Comes to Seamus Hines. He's beaten by Paul Murphy. Comes to Seamus Carroll. Seamus Carroll. Out over the line. Right under us here. Throw ball to Edenderry Town. Jim Jessup into the centre. Meant for Pat McDonald. Comes to Seamus Carroll. Carroll now, right through to Declan Ryan. Out comes Tony Hurley. And clears it out. Comes to Tommy Donoghue in the centre of the park for Edenderry, the captain of Edenderry team. Paul Murphy gets ahead to it. Out over the line. Throw ball to Edenderry. Down here just down under us. Brian Nolan the throw. Throws it long towards Philip Farr. Comes to Paul Murphy of Highfield. Working his way into the centre to Martin Callahan. Jimmy Kelly is after him. Beaten though by Brian Nolan of Edenderry. Brian, meant for Danny Doyle. Cut off by Tony Granger. Tommy Donoghue now in possession on the halfway line. Back to Danny Doyle. And Danny races up along the wing. Still Danny Doyle. Cut off by Tony Granger. Back to me. So time running out for Highfield United, who are trailing by 4 goals to 1 in this William Sheeran Cup final here at Tullamore Park. Tommy Donoghue out over the line. Throw to Highfield down here in under us. Paul Murphy to throw it. Time ticking away now for Highfield. Martin Callahan into the centre. To John Cahill, cleared away by Brian Nolan, who's had a very good game in the back line for Edenderry. Philip Farr meant for Paul McGuinness, doesn't quite make him. Gone out over the line on the far side of the field, a throw ball to Edenderry Town. Tommy Donoghue with the throw. Towards Seamus Hines, is cleared away by Martin Callahan. Out to the centre of the park, comes to Kieran Doyle. Kieran down to Jim Jessup and Philip Farr, two of them together, but Lawrence McGarry moves in, but Jim Jessup still has the ball. Into the centre to Seamus Hines. Hines a shot. He had Jimmy Kelly outside him, but straight into the hands of Sean Ryan. Paul McGuinness, the top scorer in this game. Comes to Pat Cotter for Highfield. Trying to launch another attack. Up comes Kieran Doyle. Breaks loose. Offside and free out to Edenderry Town. 5 minutes left in the game now. Time ticking away. 5 minutes for Edenderry in the Sheeran Cup. Kieran Doyle going off the field now, being substituted by Damien McNamee. So Edenderry giving their players the Pat McDonald with the free. Gives Damien McNamee the first touch of the ball. Damien, the ball cut away there by, went off Tony Granger, and a throw ball to Edenderry. Tommy Donoghue into the centre to Pat McDonald. McDonald back to Tommy Donoghue. Jimmy Kelly. Ball comes to Paul Murphy. Paul for Highfield. Into Paul McGuinness. Still Paul McGuinness. A chance. Oh, just over the top. Paul McGuinness looking for that hat-trick, and he wasn't too far away there. So the clock ticking away. Less than 4 minutes now. Sean Ryan out in the centre. Seamus Carroll comes to Philip Farr, who had a good game here all day. Philip in the centre of the park. Still Philip. Beats one man, beats two, and he's still going. Sending it across to Damien McNamee, who can't get to it. The ball is cleared away. Comes to Seamus Carroll. Something on here for Highfield. For Tony Granger. Out comes Tony Hurley in the goals and saves it well. Tony Hurley playing well there in the goals today. Clears it long down to Jimmy Kelly. Runs loose to Pat Cotter. To Philip Farr. And away comes Philip Farr. Down towards Danny Doyle. Pushes it through to Seamus Hines. Hines is onside. A chance here. Good save by the keeper. Good save there by Sean Ryan. Danny Doyle. Good ball right through the centre. Cleared away by Pat Cotter. Down to Declan Guinan. Into the centre towards Martin Callaghan. Callaghan now. Run through for Lawrence McGarry, who doesn't quite get to it. The ball's cleared away by Danny Doyle. Down to Dennis Guinan. The ball goes off Brian Nolan. A throw ball to Edenderry Town here on our left. Paul Murphy. Into the centre to Martin Callaghan. Callaghan right through now towards Lawrence McGarry. McGarry now for Highfield. Beaten there by Jim Jessup, and away comes Jim. Out over the line, right in under us, relieving the pressure and the time ticking away now. Less than 3 minutes left in the game now, and Callaghan way out towards the left, and that is wasting time at this stage of the game. And very near the full-time whistle now. Edenderry, 4 goals. Highfield United 1. Pat MacDonald sends it long. Pat Cotter gets ahead to it. Breaks loose to Paul McGuinness. McGuinness now. Still Paul McGuinness. Into Philip Farr. Farr now in the centre. Still Philip Farr. Still Philip Farr working his way through. Just over the top. Fine effort there by Philip. Score still remains 4 goals to 1. The Sheeran Cup is well and truly on its way now to Edenderry Town. As Sean Ryan prepares to kick out for Highfield. Ryan with a kick out into the centre of the park. Up goes Tommy Donoghue. Comes to Tony Granger and Danny Doyle. Danny gets ahead to it out over the sideline. John Cahill with the throw. Just under the dugout on the far side of the field. Down towards Declan Ryan. Declan fouled by Pat MacDonald. A free to Highfield just outside the Edenderry box over on the far side of the field. Martin Callaghan to take. Highfield looking for a consolation goal, as it were, now at this stage of the game. Cuts it in high. Up they go for it. Brian Nolan relieves the pressure. Going very near the sideline. Kept in play by Lawrence McGarry. It's not. It's gone over. Throw ball to Highfield. McGarry quickly to Seamus Carroll. Back to McGarry. McGarry into the centre. And away comes Tommy Donoghue now. A chance now for Edenderry to really wrap it up. Paul McGuinness is offside. Free out to Highfield. Very near the full-time whistle now. The referee looking at his watch. Danny Doyle. Out towards Philip Farr. Still Philip Farr, the ref looking at that watch, and it's all over. The ref is calling for the ball, and Edenderry have won the Sheeran Cup of 1985. On a scoreline, 4 goals to 1. Well, the delighted crowd down on the field now. Congratulations, the Edenderry men, on that fine victory over Highfield United. The captain, Tommy Donoghue, will be receiving the Sheeran Cup trophy now in just a few moments. But from Tommy Flynn and myself, Sean Donoghue, we leave Highfield Park. From Eddie Flynn and Sean Donoghue, we leave Highfield Park with the crowd cheering Francie McGuinness down there in front of it. Ton of more cars for the final.
Congratulations and celebrations when I tell everyone that you're in love with me. Congratulations and jubilations. I want the world to know I'm happy as can be. Who would believe that I could be happy and contented? I used to think that happiness hadn't been invented, but that was in the bad old days before I met you. When I let you walk into my heart. Congratulations and celebrations when I tell everyone that you're in love with me. Congratulations and jubilations. I want the world to know I'm happy as can be. I was afraid that maybe you thought you were above me, that I was only fooling myself to think you'd love me. But then tonight you said you couldn't live without me, that round about me you wanted to stay. Congratulations and celebrations when I tell everyone that you're in love with me. Congratulations and jubilations. I want the world to know I'm happy as can be.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the greatest day not alone for County Offaly. Junior football, because today is the final of the most expensive trophy in junior football, the Sheeran Cup. Before I present our president, I want to present other people, very important people here. We have Mr. Joe H. from O'Neill Sports International, who supplies all the equipment for the Irish team from senior, youth, junior international team, Mr. Joe H. Mr. Bourne. The man that tweeted every penny every month, Mr. Frank Malloy, the treasurer. And our youth doctor, John Scully. Very great pleasure now in asking former president of the Football Association and now president of the Leinster Junior League and his very pretty wife. They will both help to make this presentation. Mr. and Mrs. John Farrell.
Great pleasure for me to see that in County Offaly, that three Offaly teams have contributed to a very good day's sport here in the final of the Highfield and Edenderry feel probably disappointed at this moment that they have lost today's game. But I can assure them by losing today's game, it's probably just a step to annexing the William Sheeran Cup in the near future. Edenderry town, from way of what for a period of 29 years, because that's the length of our club. When I was presented first, I was one of the people responsible for it being provided at the Junior League level for competition. I'm sure that Edenderry will testify that they had many, many sorry days, but they came back today, and I think everybody will agree that are deserving winners of the William Sheeran.
The manner in which it was played, and certainly last but not least,
the neutrals to make this a memorable occasion and make it one of the finest finals, gate-wise, that has ever been in the county.
Here, here.
I also want to sincerely thank the people who sometimes I criticise because they criticise me. But in all fairness, we couldn't live without the press. And I honestly want to thank them very sincerely for the cover they have given this final all the week and everybody connected. We are deeply indebted to them, I can assure you. The Football Association, as you know, travel the world. Sometimes they're advised not to. We get some bad beatings. But I don't believe in that theory. I believe in the theory that if you don't play, you don't improve. And if the Leinster Junior League hadn't have thought of having the counties football in 68, I think it was, and the progress that has been made, not only at top junior level, but also at youth level. And I want to ask the clubs throughout the counties to concentrate on providing youth football. It's so necessary as a lifeline to your first, your second and your other teams. You can't live without them. And you've got to encourage them and you've got to be patient with them. And we, for our part, as everybody knows, spend quite a considerable amount of money on youth football. And I also want to take this opportunity to congratulate and thank the Offaly Schoolboy League. They're doing a marvellous job, and no doubt the junior leagues will have benefited by them in future years. I'm not going to detain you too long because I have quite a considerable amount to do yet. But I'm sure this is one occasion when we can all congratulate the referee and his assistants for doing the game today. Today's final is an acknowledgement by the Leinster Junior League for the progress and the attitude of the officials throughout the year. Now, with the assistance of the referee inspectors, Jerry Ellis and others, whom we appreciate, we try to arrive at the right decisions all the time. I know we don't always, but we do sometimes. And in conclusion, and I hope I haven't left anybody out, in conclusion, as I said, we have traveled the world with our international team. We have held our heads high for a small country for a long number of years, and the little obstacles that we're meeting now will eventually be overcome. But I want to take this opportunity to thank International Sports O'Neill's for the wonderful job they're doing at senior level right down. There's no doubt I can go into the directors of O'Neill's on most occasions, have a row, and then walk out with what I wanted. And that's been the attitude of O'Neill's right throughout, from the senior team, the youth team, all our teams right down, ladies and schoolboys. And again, my thanks and your thanks for the wonderful attire that we see here today. I think it was most colourful, well dressed out, referees, both teams, and that alone added to the colour and the game. So I now come to a very important part. I'm going to ask Joe Edge of O'Neill's Irish International Sports to present the trophy for the man of the match, Phil Farrell in
participate in a team such as we see in such a sportsmanlike fashion. It's great to be part of that occasion, and I'm pleased for myself to be here today to be part of a historic occasion, and for O'Neill's who always take the opportunity to be part of an occasion when we can be of service to everybody. I take this opportunity and thank you very much, and I'd like to congratulate Phil Farrell for being man of the match, and I have great pleasure of presenting him with his trophy. Thank you very much.
Everybody, and I never said thank God for such a beautiful day. That was most important. It should have been first. But now I would ask my wife to present this trophy to the captain of Edenderry Town. And again, before I close off, I want to thank very sincerely for the great attitude of Highfield letting up here and showing appreciation to the place.
On behalf of Edenderry Town, it's a great honour for me to present this Sheeran Cup on behalf of this town. I'd like to thank him. Two people. To start with a man to be It's very easy to go along when times are good, but when they were bad, he was always there. So I'd like to thank Joe Brown. Hi, Joe. Hi, Joe. For a marvellous match. Thanks very much. I'd like to thank O'Neill for their sponsorship. Thanks very much. Edenderry Town, yes, I know that. Last but not least, I'd like to thank Highfield for a very sporting game. Thanks very much, lads.
Captain of Highfield United, and I know how hard he worked, and he expressed to me only in Dublin last 2 weeks ago that they were definitely going all out to win the Sheeran Cup. And as I said earlier, they may have lost today, but they certainly will be back. And it's my pleasure now to introduce the captain of Highfield United.
Thanking all the officials and our team. But of course, we have to start with Billy Murphy, our manager. And all the officials of our team, Mark Welsh, Peter Murphy, they make our job so much easier looking after the money side of the club. And all the boys, for all the hard work they put in to get to the final. There's so many in the club I should be thanking. But I'd like to thank Edenderry for a good sports match. And we're sorry we just wasn't up to your standard today, but maybe the next time, please. Thank you, Edenderry Town, for a very good match. Announcement and referee. Thank you very much.
That was one very important man, the grandfather of the club.
Congratulations and jubilations. I want the world to know I'm happy as can be. I want the world to know I'm happy as can be. Congratulations and celebrations when I tell everyone that you're in love with me. Congratulations and jubilations. I want the world to know I'm happy as can be. Who would believe that I could be happy and contented? I used to think that happiness hadn't been invented, but that was